As the Panthers grew in influence and membership, so did pushback from the state. The Panthers sought meaningful activities for members so that they could serve the community and strengthen the party and improve their public image. So they deployed community programs, and they quickly became a cornerstone of the party's activities nationwide. The Panthers community programs began in 1969 under Bobby Seale's leadership because Eldridge Cleaver had went into exile and Huey Newton was still in prison. And it marked an important transformation for the Panthers' political ideals. The idea was inspired by Mao Zedong's advice to revolutionaries in the Little Red Book, and Newton called for the Panthers to serve the people and make survival programs a priority within its branches. The Panthers launched its first breakfast program for children at St. Augustine Episcopal Church in West Oakland. The parishioner Ruth Beckford Smith coordinated the program. When the party decided to organize a breakfast program for children at St. Augustine, Beckford Smith volunteered to coordinate the program and help organize it. The first day of the program, it only served 11 children. By the end of the week, the program was serving almost 135 children a day. When Bobby Seale went to prison in 1969, David Hilliard, chief of staff for the party, took the reins of the party's organization. Hilliard continued to give priority to the development of the free breakfast program for children, and during his tenure, the program spread like wildfire, becoming the Panthers' most important activity. The breakfast program was an important public face for the party and also matched the Panthers politically and ideologically. The Panthers claimed to have fed 20,000 children between 1968 and 1969, and they said they hoped to feed almost 100,000 between 1969 and 70. These breakfast programs enjoyed widespread support within the Black community, and the free breakfast program adopted a rigorous routine. Members had to be at the site early in the morning in time to prepare the food and be ready for the children arriving before they ate and headed off to school. Transporting some of them from the home to the site and then to school was yet another vital offering and a logistical challenge. While children ate their meals, though, members taught them Black liberation lessons consisting of the Black Panther Party's messages and Black history. Businesses donated food and supplies to the local Black Panther programs, mostly due to altruism and promotion of a positive community relations. But businesses that chose not to help faced the Black Panthers' wrath. At times, the Panthers' persuasion blended on harassment and sometimes strong arming. Far more common, though, was boycotts and picketing of businesses that refused to assist the programs. Equally common was the tactic of calling out or public shaming those that refused to help. Churches and other community-based organizations that refused to sponsor or allow breakfast programs on their premises faced a similar treatment. Politically, the breakfast program shed a light on the government's failure to address childhood poverty and hunger. The U.S. government only spent $600,000 on breakfast programs in the fall of 1967. Government-sponsored breakfast programs grew rapidly as the Panthers pioneered their free breakfast program. And by 1972, government-sponsored breakfast programs were feeding almost 1.8 million children out of the approximately 5 million children that qualified for such help. The success of the Panthers' free breakfast program for children led for the party to initiate free clinics and a range of other community programs. Many Blacks were poorly served by the healthcare system, and some of them had never seen a doctor. Once again, despite the healthcare initiatives within the federal government in urban areas, community residents only received limited, if any, healthcare attention. The Panthers ran free medical clinics that relied on volunteer services of local doctors, medical students, interns, residents, nurses, and community folks, as well as donated or low-rent clinic space. These public-run Panther clinics offer services to all who came, Black and non-Black alike. Some of the cities, like in Baltimore, the party formed coalitions with like-minded individuals and groups to run free clinics with the community. For the party, the focus was plain and urgent: to address within the limited resources a pressing healthcare concerns to poor Black communities that were sorely lacking in adequate medical facilities and professionals. The clinic's services included first aid, physical examination, prenatal care, and testing for lead poisoning, high blood pressures, and sickle cell anemia. If necessary, the clinic could refer to a specialist for follow-up care, and there were at least 11 clinics, and Chicago's Free Medical Center was one of the best run and most respected Panther Health clinics, serving almost 2,000 people in an initial 2 months. The medical teams in the clinics went door to door assisting people with their healthcare issues, and the clinic staff included obstetricians, gynecologists, pediatricians, and general practitioners. Still, despite these successes with the free breakfast program and the free healthcare clinics, COINTELPRO still aimed to dismantle the Black Panther Party by targeting their social and community programs. No aspect of the Black Panthers programs was a greater concern to the FBI than the free breakfast program for children, which fostered widespread support for the Panthers' revolutionary politics. Hoover explained that the FBI primary aims in counterintelligence for the Panthers were to keep the group isolated from moderate blacks and the whites in the community that supported it. The FBI denounced the Panthers' efforts as a means of indoctrination and took extensive measures to undermine the Panthers' breakfast program. For example, agents sent forged letters and incendiary propaganda to supermarkets to persuade them not to provide food, impersonated parishioners, to persuade churches providing space for their program, and regularly harassed and intimidated program participants, supporters, and party workers. As usual, if you like this, consider donating to our Patreon page. Also, if you like more episodes like this, or you can find episode 1 at onemichistory.com. Please give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and peace.